Yeah.
Well, I was stuck in 10 forward with the Vulcan delegation, the most boring celebration in the United Federation. The Klingons and the Romulans were trying to be polite. Not even William Riker's getting lucky here tonight. That's when the idea struck me. I let Ghana know the score. Then I found the nearest holodeck and opened up the door. Computer, give me disco. Put some glitter on the screen. I want the funkiest spoiler program that this ship has ever seen. Synthesize the rhythm, make the polyester shine. Kill the lights and set the star date to 1979. The sensors overloaded, my terminal exploded. The disco hologram was suddenly uploaded. It reached communication like a bug simulation. That funky, nasty bass line was played at every station. Inertial dampeners failing, the diplomats were wailing. The loudest sound the quadrants ever heard was auto-scaling. The doctor started tapping, the captain started rapping. The buttons of their uniforms were literally snapping. No way to isolate it, we had to celebrate it. I invited everyone on board and no one hesitated. The prime directive is to dance, and forward never stood a chance. The holodeck just took control, now let the groove into your soul. Resistance is futile, you gotta let go. Engage the dance floor and make it so. The prime directive is to dance. Avert all power to the trance. Computer, blast that bass again. Let's take this party to War 10. Now Scotty's in the DJ booth. He's remixing the sound. Cues rolling up a fat one. Don't believe me? Ask around. Hurrahs crack the frequency. Now the folks on all the comms. She's dropping subspace baseline beats like they were photon bombs. Data's doing the robot. Kurt just ripped off the shirt. Murphy's doing the hustle. Joey ate all the dessert. The doctor's overriding all his ethical subroutines. Saw him popping hollow pills and snorting lines with the breed. Janeway spiked the coffee with some nebula delight. And I heard her threaten to kill whoever don't get down tonight. It's red alert on every deck. Got Tuvok pinching every neck. Ferengi women are turning tricks. The Borg just plugged into the mix. They're scanning us from deep in space. They wanna come to rock this place. Forget the rules and regulations. United Fuck a Federation. Prime directive is to dance, and forward never stood a chance. The holodeck just took control. Now let the groove into your soul. Resistance is futile. You gotta let go. Engage the dance floor and make it so. The prime directive is to dance. Avert all power to the trance. Computer, blast that bass again. Let's take this party to War 10. Calling the Enterprise. Beam me up. Calling Voyager. Beam me up. Deep Space Nine. Are you feeling fine? This is Deep Space Nine. We're feeling fine.
Captain, the funk is reading off the scale. Dopamine levels at 100%. Inhibitions at 0. It is highly illogical. It is fascinating.
Hit it! The prime directive is to dance, and forward never stood a chance. The holodeck just took control. Now let the groove into your soul. Resistance is futile. You gotta let go. Engage the dance floor and make it so. The prime directive is to dance. Divert all power to the trance. Computer, blast that bass again. Let's take this party to War 10. The prime directive is to dance. Set phases to funk. Oh, Brian, energize. Set phases to funk.
Hailing frequencies open, Captain. Damn it, Jim. I'm a doctor, not the DJ. Live long and get down.
I think somebody might have just been partying a little hard there, man. I mean, that's
Okay.
insane.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
so when the
Okay.
very first time I ever played this, somebody said, "Well, how'd they get all the actors to get together?" And I had to laugh because half of them are dead anyway. I'm like, I said, like 4 or 5 of them are dead. So they, I guess you brought them back.
Sure that's AI.
Yeah. So, and man, whoever did it, I mean, there's a lot of, I mean, AI did all the work, but somebody did a lot of programming because there's a lot of subtleties and there's a lot of little stuff. Currently, right now, is the number third played thing on our network. I mean, we literally have over 100,000 hours of material, and that's the number 3 thing on the network. It's kind of disappointing, to be honest with you. And there's Carmen over there getting there. Todd, how you doing, man?
Good.
Everybody's treating you all good. What's up, man?
Joe, please stop talking. Stop talking for 1 second. Joe, stop talking for 1 second. Joe, please.
What are you
stop
doing, dude?
talking for 1 second. There's an incredible delay and echo on this line.
Wow, that's weird.
Are you
Todd?
are you hearing that, or
me,
am I the only one hearing that?
It seems to me that I'm not sensing an echo yet, but then we haven't really had a back and forth. So
yeah, it's that's probably because you're outside in the car on your phone.
Might be you, Carmen.
Yeah, it's probably because you're outside on the phone. You're catching a lag from somewhere. Some of your neighbors are yapping pretty good or something. Well, sometimes you can just restart the program too, and it fixes it. You know, it does happen sometimes. StreamYard's a good program, but it does occasionally have a little issue here and there.
I'll deal with it then.
Yeah, good. They Kirby, the number one problem I've ever had with StreamYard is they're always constantly upgrading, and they change all the formats, and it just pisses all my host off. Oh yes, they get furious, man. They're like, because I mean, it's like the other day they changed the active history thing, right? So you knew where the history, your past shows were, so you can download them and your new shows. Well, first off, they made the word invisible. So the only way you see it is if you highlight over it. They never bothered telling anybody you had to mouse over it to see it. It was just stupid is what it was. Sometimes, I got a rule. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And if it's working really good, why are you messing with it? But anyway, welcome to Authors Quill. Nice to have you on.
Thanks.
It's so yeah, we had the little Star Trek beat going on. Yeah, I was like, yeah. They have 8 or 9 of those little parodies. They have them for each one of the shows. They have them for the first one I ever seen was the original series, and then I seen Picard, and then I've seen, of course, the rest of them since then. And this disco one somebody had sent me and said, let's go disco dance. And I'm like, sure, man, let's go ahead and try that. What you got behind you there in the background? Who's artists?
A couple pieces of art that I got at Dragon Con this last year. One of them is the Hobbits there, and then of course Gollum on the thing up there.
Oh, okay.
And I kind of liked the way it's almost exactly the same composition for the Sandcrawler over here with the Jawas in the background, and I just like the composition of both of those, and they're very similar, so it goes nicely together.
Now that I put you on full screen, I can actually see what they were. It's Jack, yeah, you can just hit full screen. So the way that the pictures are set up, that you can view them several different ways, but you can view them in a full picture mode on your screen. Yeah, so that way you get to see all the details, and that's where all that stuff that's behind me back there. But if you're going to win prizes through the skeleton, you're going to have to be on 4K or 8K. You're not going to do it from 1080. Well, you can't, because right now there's stuff in his eyes, but you can't see it. But if you're on 4K, you can. I know it's kind of rough, man. It's just, well, it was an accidental thing that happened, but now, because like last night we gave away books. I gave away 6 books last night, and all of them were in the U.S. for a change. Where were we? We were in California, Florida, and damn, I forgot the other one. And so it's a lot of fun. A lot of good things. So what got you into writing, man? I mean, you just one day you woke up and said, I can write, or wait a minute, pronounce your last name for me. I'm looking at your last name thinking, do I want to take a shot at this or not, man?
Oh, give it a whirl. You never know. You can right on the
I'm looking at it thinking like 5 different ways to say it. I won't let you say it. Usually I'll ask the guest before we go on air, but we were messing around.
No worries. No worries. It's FAHRESTOCK. That's how you say it.
FAHRESTOCK. I might have been a little off there, but that's pretty close still. That's actually a cool name. I like names like those. Any name you have to think about saying, especially if it's someone's personal name, I like those kind of names. So anyway, get back to what we were talking about. What was it? I mean, say you're like 5 or 10 and you're writing stories on your walls and your dad's going, what is wrong with you, son? I mean, or was it later on? Like, I mean, because different people, like some people I know started messing around kind of young and then they stopped for whatever reason. And there's lots of different reasons. And then they came back later on. And some of them came back as like therapy. And then now they're all professional writers. But it is different. So I'm always curious because I know with them damn illustrators, they like to paint their bedrooms and stuff. So
yeah, so I actually my parents divorced when I was 14, and right about that time I started reading a lot of epic fantasy, probably because the trope really appealed to me, right?
Yeah,
like this notion that somebody with very little power could go on a journey, get the magic elixir or the magic sword, or become more powerful, and then finally be able to defeat the big bad at the very end. That's the epic fantasy trope. And for a kid, whose parents just divorced and who, didn't want them to have divorced, that was like the big bad for me. And so I loved the idea of being able to undo that, which is probably why the stories really appealed to me. So I just fell into that escapism really hard. And then when I was about 18 years old, as I'd gotten through that sort of, rocky moments, I realized that I didn't think there was anything cooler than those stories. And if I couldn't be a fantasy hero in real life, then maybe I could create them. That was sort of when it started. And so in an independent study class in my senior year of high school, my project was to write a novel, which I think I finished maybe a third of it, but I think that my professor or my teacher advisor didn't think I would even get like 2 or 3 chapters. And I had like, maybe 40,000 words, 30,000 words. So he was, I got an A in that particular class, and that started the journey. That was my first novel, and it was an absolutely inspired piece of garbage that would never see the light of day. But I thought it was fantastic. Like at the time, I thought it was like the best novel ever. So I wrote a second one, which was also garbage, but I thought it was fantastic. Step and repeat until about novel 12, when they actually started getting readable.
Oh, you get practice makes perfect, my friend. I tell it to everybody. One of those things. I remember when I was in private school, because we had to do a classical week. We had to do a book report on it. We had to read a classical week and do a book report. This went on for like 4 years. Like, it drove me to drinking, man. And they would tell you, "Oh, this will make you really good writers." And I said, "This is going to make me hate writing anything." Is what this is going to do. But it was great. I mean, I would try, but I never was. And hanging out with these guys for the last about 7 years and 8 of these events, I've actually learned quite a lot. Now I've written 60, almost 70,000 words. You know what I did with it? It took me 4 years, by the way, to get to that. Right. When I only wrote when I was in LA with these guys, and usually like 2:00 in the morning. And I got about 7. And then one day I sat there and read it, and I went, "Oh, well, watch this big thing. Delete." I was like, Emily says, "Send it to me." I said, "I ain't sending it to nobody. Delete." It's like, I know my limitations in being an artist, or an author is just not. I can give you material all day. Matter of fact, I got enough material for 4 books right now, and some of them pretty damn scary. But I'm not the guy, even though I understand it better now. I'm just not the guy who does it. Somehow, y'all have just this gift with magical power, whatever you want to call it. Denise, it's a gift. It's because you can sit down there and coherently come up with something that someone wants to read. It's I can't. It's too much. I want to make stuff up in the middle. I just think it doesn't work for me. Good.
Yeah, I mean, I like the notion that it's a magical power, but like, people ask me, where do you get your ideas? Or, wow, you're so creative, and it doesn't seem that abnormal to me because I've been doing it for 40 years. It just seems like, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not easy. At the best of times, it flows really well, but most of the time, you know, it's the hardest job I've ever had, and at the same time, it's the job I most want to do.
Yeah.
So it kind of falls under that. You know, do something that you love, and you'll never work a day in your life. You know, I mean, I spend so much effort and so much time and so much wrangling with these stories, but I can't think of anything I'd rather do. You know, I mean, it's just so compelling, and it pulls me into it time and time and time again. But the coming up with the ideas and the living in that world and writing it down does seem very normal to me. Like it seems weird to me that, you know, that someone would say, well, I can't write a novel. I'm like, sure you can. Of course you can. Like, I mean, yeah, it might take a while and it might be hard, but of course you
can. Yeah, there's a lot of things I can do. Unfortunately, that's just.
See, Joe, there's hope for you anyway.
Well, there's not, you know, look, some things I know, you know, I've don't get me wrong, I've actually tried over years. I mean, I've taken their course 3 times at Writers of the Future, and I have access to every one of the judges at Writers of the Future for 8 years now. So that's what y'all get them for 1 week. I'm you know, so it's a couple of weeks for me, and I've asked them a lot of, and I do. Don't get me wrong, I do actually understand. I could sit with a group of authors now and not sound like an idiot when I was talking to them. Okay, now that's because I understand what the jargon is and all the different things mean, but it still doesn't mean. I've even learned how to find filler, which has always been my bad spot. I could give you information all day long, but trying to get, like, I'm walking down the street and the sun is shining, the birds, I just for some reason it just doesn't work for me. It comes out of some kind of ignorant jibber jabber or something. I'm honest about it, you know. But and I watch people do it. I mean, watch them write, you know, like 5 minutes of stuff that has really nothing to pertain with the story so much as it's just kind of setting you up as you're going into the story, or just filler in the middle of the story or something. But I don't know. It's not a gift for me, man. I'm glad to see any of y'all that can write, especially if you're writing in fantasy or sci-fi. This since COVID, and I don't know how this is for you, but I've talked to a lot of people. And since COVID, there just seems to be a lack of good anything. It's like we all watched everything, and now they can't catch up. The need is so big, they can't catch up. I mean, I haven't seen any real near now sci-fi in a couple of years. And I think the last good series I've seen was Expanse, or maybe Altered Carbon. And as far as books go, it hasn't been. But fortunately, I know these guys. So every now and then, somebody's writing one. They'll send me one of their books that they're working on, and I'll read it. I got to get it fixed. But and in fantasy, I mean, there seems to be more fantasy, but then it's fantasy. You can go in 500 different directions. Some of it I like, and some of them like, that's just stupid. You know, I'm honest with it. It's like a friend of mine says, because Lord of the Rings got me through tech school in the Navy. A friend of mine introduced me to it. This is like 83 or something. And he introduces me to it. He said, look, you're not sleeping at night. You're just stressing all the time, because in the Navy, you can't miss a question. If you do, you fail the test. You have to ace every test. So, and that was stressing me out. You know, advanced avionics, advanced electronics. So I started reading Lord of the Rings, and guess what? I started sleeping. Eased up in school, made it through. I honestly say, when I say them 3 books got me through advanced tech school, they did. They got me through to school. So I appreciate it, you know. And that little bit of, well, I should say a little bit of that lot of that well-written sci-fi got me, for fantasy, got me through that. So I appreciate when y'all are out there. And it's nice to be able to lose yourself in a book. So here's a side question for you. Somebody was hitting them. How much politics do you include into your fantasies?
Oh, I would say 0. I don't.
Excellent. I like you already. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
For me, I think that themes are important to include in a story, and I always include a theme. But I personally, no matter what my ideology or the ideology of the person who is writing the story or doing the movie, like if I catch them preaching to me, it is an instant turn off. Like I want to watch for entertainment. I want to, you know, I've got my own beliefs on the whole landscape and everything. But as far as I'm concerned, like I'm writing a story about heroes. I'm writing a story about swords and sorcery. And
that's good.
Yeah. I mean, like I want to see the action. I want to jump into it. And yeah, I may have personal themes. I always will have personal themes that
you can't, and living in this world, you kind of have to, but I mean,
Well, I think everybody has things that are important to them, and that's all that themes are, right? I mean, like it is sort of something that you consider to be precious and or important or urgent or whatever, and that's what I put into the stories. But I bring that theme alive through the characters, as opposed to trying to, tell people how they ought to be or ought to live. I'm like, this is what my character would do, and this is what makes it great within the story. That's about as far as I go.
Well, no, see, I appreciate that, because one of the reasons I quit watching the NFL was it frankly, it just got really political, and that's why I wasn't watching it for that. I wanted to go see, the moments, the fun, the craziness, the camaraderie. I'd be frank with you. If I wanted to see politics, I'd go turn on the news. I'm not gonna lie to you. Plus, I host a political show, so if I really feel the need, I can do that. But it's not even that. It's just in general, any movies, TV. I know people want to teach us lessons. I understand all of that, but frankly, I'm really there for the entertainment value. If I can't relax into it, I'm not going to watch it, or I'm not going to read it. I'm just going to say okay, or I'm not going to listen to it, because I do like audio books. When you have as little free time as I do, audio books are a really good thing.
I love audio books.
Yeah. And they're becoming easier now too with AI, aren't they? Now that's what I've heard. I have not personally messed with it, but a couple of authors recently said it's getting a little bit easier with AI. You can select the voices, you can select like characters in it and stuff. Like, well, that's kind of cool. And
AI is getting more and more sophisticated all the time. Personally, though, the ones that I've listened to, I'm not a big fan of the AI voice. I like the narrators that I can tell are human narrators. But AI is moving at such a pace. Who knows? Pretty soon, maybe I won't be.
They're still kind of squeaky. They got a little ways to go before they get. They're not like. I frankly, it depended on the story. I'm not gonna lie. Now, if I'm reading like some dark fantasy or some really deep sci-fi, something, I really want kind of a kind of deep, throaty voice that goes. You're not going to get that out of an AI, at least not yet. Because voices make it different for me when I'm reading. But like when I did, John had given me Mission Earth, all 10 versions of it. I mean, it was in book form, but he gave me the audio form, which still hasn't been released. And it was fabulous. The voice, but those were all humans. I mean, all the sound effects were in there. Everybody was making sound effects. There was no AI at all. And don't get me wrong, books one's a little slow, because it's like any TV show. It's building character. You got to build those characters up so people know who they are. But once you got past that, it's a really good. Well, I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of words it is, because it's 10 books, but it's a lot of fun to listen to. And I would much prefer that. I was listening to a friend of mine. He just finished a novel. He sent it to me in AI that day. It's Amazon AI, by the way. And I listened to it. And I mean, it wasn't horrible. And if I'm in the car, I might not pay attention as much. If I'm sitting right here, or I'm working on the computers, or I'm in my living room, that voice I'm not going to be able to listen to it because of the voice. Like I said, in the car, it's okay, because there's always a little background noise in your car while you're driving. So that kind of muffles it out. So I can deal with that. But in the house, I noticed I tried to listen to it in my house. Even my damn dog wouldn't listen to it. Like that, I'm out of here. This is just, because both of them will come get in my lap and fall asleep when I'm listening to stuff. They think they're listening. I tell you what, they react to the sounds and all, like, when something bad happens, they react to sound and sleep. They can hear it coming through my ear, but it cracks me up. Now, I know this is going to be growing here in the near future, but they're starting to open up the markets. Overseas markets are open up and bigger now. Before, technically you can always get overseas because there's Amazon and there's Temu and a couple others, but really and truly, not like it's going to happen now. Now it's going to open up in such a way that I think the way the guy was explaining it to me is every bookstore will now have an audiobook section where you can actually go in with a thumb drive and download it to your thumb drive for whatever it costs and leave. It's a whole different thing than they were having. It's going to start Europe, but it's already started in Europe. It'll work its way over here eventually. And I was looking at it. It's just a cool way. So you can, and the guy at I don't remember the name of the bookstore, was in Germany, wherever John goes. It was in Frankfurt PM or whatever it is. But he was saying the way this is going is eventually all the bookstores will have a selection of about 2,000 or 3,000 voices, so you can bring in your book, put it on the reader, or upload it to the computer and let the AI take over, and you can sit there and get the types of voices. And he said you're going to be able to to deepen or thin the voices out, you'll be able to actually customize the voice, because AI don't give you an option to customize. It just makes a voice and boom, off you go. And you can tell it, oh, come back and do a deeper voice, but it's not the same. This sophisticated stuff, it bothers me because there's a lot of people getting put out of work right there. Doing an audiobook, it takes a good bit of work from people, and I think my fundamental problem with AI, and you can tell me what you think about it in a second, is the fact that it somewhere in all of this, it's going to hurt some people. I don't know who it's going to hurt, because it looks like people are trying to protect the authors and the illustrators, but there's a lot of other people out there that AI is going to affect. So we'll see. What do you think?
Yeah, I think I mean, AI is not going anywhere, and
No.
I mean, I kind of liken it a little bit to, you know, people who once upon a time swore that, you know, great novels could only be written if you start writing them by hand. I mean, eventually you're going to have to put them in a typeset and put them in a book, but like, you know, writing them in a notebook is really the creative way to do it. And when word processors came along, it was, you know, oh, well, I'm not sure if that's, you know what I mean? Like the technology is going to progress. So, I mean, I would like to believe that.
Oh, wait, we're getting feedback, Carmen, what you did.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to believe that
Okay.
you know, what I do is not replicatable by AI. And at this point, I think it's probably not.
Not right now, it's not.
But it might be coming, you know. I mean, it's learning and growing and becoming more and more competent at such a rate that who can say? And I mean, I'm not like a huge AI hater, but at the same time, I don't pay a whole lot of attention to it yet. I don't use it myself. I mean, I think a couple of times I did like back cover copy with AI just to see kind of what it would do, but I do not use it in the interior of my book. Like that is all just me doing the work. So, I mean, I haven't started using it in that fashion yet, but it's, I mean, and as far as AI audiobooks go, like I'm very happy to be excited about the human readers at this point, and not particularly excited about the AI readers that I have heard at this point, just because, I mean, humans have a like listening to someone. Like I just spent a conference with Ray Porter, who did the audiobook for the Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. Won the audio award, and now it's becoming a movie and all that stuff. And he's a great guy. I really enjoy hanging out with him, and listening to him do an audiobook is such an experience. Like where he'll put pauses, or where he'll decide to emphasize something with a lower voice or a higher voice or a different accent or whatever. It's just, I just find it so satisfyingly artistic that I can't imagine that I would ever choose an AI voice over somebody like him, you know?
No.
So to me, that's, yeah,
I can understand that. No, I can understand that. A couple of years back, they introduced me to Jim Mesclin, who does a lot of the sound effects and a lot of the voices for their books. And he's great. I mean, he's a great actor. He's a lot of fun. Matter of fact, his daughter and him did a skit last year. They do a old radio skit at the conference every year, and it's a lot of fun to listen to. It's old school radio kind of thing. But so with them, they gave me, where's it at? Battlefield Earth. It's this book you could kill somebody with. So quick. It's I have the audio version of it, and I have Mission Earth. So what we do, it's 44 hours, mind you, people. Okay, so before Christmas and New Year's, I actually play it in its entirety. I play Battlefield Earth in the mornings till the evening, about 8 hours, and then I play Mission Earth about 8 hours, and I play them all week, and so people can come and listen to them, and they do come and listen to them. I also play the original War of the Worlds. Not the remakes, the original War of the Worlds, the radio version, where you get all the bells and whistles, you get all the original advertisement, the whole thing. And when you listen to that one, you can understand why people were flipping out. When you listen to the later ones, you're like, oh, that don't make any sense. You go back and listen to the original one in its entirety, and you're like, well, because they're just doing their thing. You know, they're doing the advertisements, and all of a sudden there was this weird thing at Grover's Mill, and then they're going back to whatever doing the radio comes on. It's actually quite well done. I was quite surprised. But we play them every year. It's a lot of fun to listen to, and all of that stuff is all made by people, and I want it to stay that way. Look, I'm not going to hate on AI because I use it from things. Matter of fact, the banner behind you right now I made just before the show. Took 1 second. I just typed in Authors Quill, and we have thousands of banners because you can change banners like you change clothes. So that's all fine. My problem with this, and I noticed Congress is addressing this right now. So you're an author, or and you've got some friends that illustrate. So all your work is eventually going to be on the web, where it can be accessed. Now, people don't realize this. We have to go buy your book to read it. AI does not.
Yeah.
So it can just go read your book in its entirety, mind you, and then it can extrapolate from what it wants from that book and do it. So right now there is no laws against that. Now, technically, that's copyright infringement.
For sure.
But since it's not a real person, they don't think it's copyright infringement. Well, Congress is really hot. I don't know how this is going to pan out, but if it goes the way they want it to, AI is going to be in trouble because it's going to get stuck. It's still got a good ways to go. It's still in its learning phase, and it's still got a good ways to go. Well, if Congress decides to cut it off at its knees right now, then what's going to happen is these companies are going to have to start buying this material by the block so that they can teach their AI, which would be good for all of us. I don't know. We're going to see. Something's got to happen because I know a lot of artists. I mean, a lot of artists that are hacked off. Matter of fact, there was one of them really famous just the other day. She was on there. She goes, "That's the first line of my song. What the hell?" And she got to her lawyer. Lawyer told her, "There ain't nothing you can do about it." She wanted it because I think it came out of Google's AI, and they were like, "No, there's nothing you can do about it. You can sue, but you're not going to win because there's no law against it."
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, for people like you and see, for me, it's different because we're in the media industry. So we're automatic. Anything we publish is automatically copyrighted. And the way it's copyrighted is in such that AI actually cannot use the information out of the podcast. If they do, then it is a copyright infringement, which I don't understand. So they can't use my podcast, but they can use your book, or they can use Jeannie's over there's paintings. But if it comes out of the TV show, they can't use it either. But they still do. Don't think they're not doing it. You and I ain't going to find out about it, but they're still doing it. And I just, it worries me. I mean, the very first time I heard about AI, one of the authors from Writers of the Future, one of the winners, matter of fact, I had met him the year before, calls me up mid-evening. Said, "Joe, can I talk to you about something? I'd like to come on your show." I'm like, "Sure." He starts telling me about all this new AI. Well, I hadn't heard about it anywhere yet. Anywhere. So we came on the show and we talked about it. And look, it's a scary thing. We're gonna get Carmen an AI girlfriend now. When Elon Musk is making him cute ones now, so now you just now you just matter of fact, what did that guy in Japan say? He said within 5 years you won't be able to tell the difference from real and not real. I'm thinking, I don't know about that. I'm just feeling like I would be.
I would imagine in person. I mean, I do a lot of in-person sales, and I can tell you for sure one thing that AI can't do is set up a booth at a Comic-Con and talk to fans one-on-one.
I mean, and that's another thing I've been following. Oh, that's another one. So they had in England, they had a robot trying to write a book. That was pricelessly, just hilariously funny. And what the funny part was, about halfway through, it got frustrated and tore the book in half and went and sat in the corner. I'm like,
and it's getting more realistic all the time.
I'm thinking, so AI actually,
I think
gentlemen, AI's got 10.
Doesn't that? I got a question. Doesn't that prove that it's real then?
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Well, look, the very first question
Todd,
I ever asked.
Have you ever wanted to tear a book in half?
Yes, that's why I said they're making them more realistic all the time. If you get to a point where you're frustrated and you want to throw in the trash can, that's happened to me several times.
Yes, I mean, it's just this stuff is just weird. And I know both Elon Musk and I forgot the company in Japan want to make them robots realistic. They want you not to be able to tell the difference. They want to say, but look, AI gets it wrong. So quick lesson for everybody. I have Alexa in my house in the front, and I have Siri somewhere around here. And Alexa, the dumb bitch, gets stuff wrong about every third time I ask her. Something like today, I asked her. I said, "Tell me the weather for Henderson Point, Mississippi." She goes off. That's supposed to rain bad today, right? Never even mentions the rain. So I said, "Well, isn't it going to rain today?" "Oh, I messed up. I just told you about the fog. I should have told you." And wait, she admits when she messes up. So about every third thing I ask her, she screws up. So before that, before she was AI, the bitch was accurate to a fault. Now all of a sudden she's Well, I don't want to say a dumb blonde because I don't want to insult blondes, but still, I mean, it's just ridiculous how messed up she is.
I wonder what's up with that. I wonder if like it was more accurate before they started it on the AI engine. I wonder if that's just because there's more information coming in and they're not processing it as efficiently. I don't. That seems weird to me. It seems like it would be more
Jordan Klein, he's one of my friends. He works over there. He goes, Joe, they're just trying to make it more human. I was like, well, humans get shit wrong. I said, they were humans. I said, the human man will get up there and tell you weather. Now, the weather might not be right because not everybody is a good forecaster. I said, but he's going to tell you, hey, we're going to have fog this morning. We're going to expect rain tonight, probably around 4 or 5 o'clock. I said, I know Alexa is actually reading probably from accurate weather or somewhere. I said, so how can she get it wrong? And he said, well, he said, it's like a kid, Joe, you're teaching. He said, every one of you people who are using AI are teaching it. I'm like, wait, I'm not getting paid for my teaching time? Whoa, wait a minute, buddy. What's this about? Right. But she does. I mean, and they're using us, all of us. Not just Alexa, not just your cell phones, your cars, everything now has a freaking talking computer in it. And Alexa, not only that, the bitch gets sassy. And said, well, I told you. I said, but you told me wrong. Oh, well. And then she'll try to make an excuse for why she told me wrong. I'm thinking, oh my God, it's like talking to a 5-year-old. My wife gets it. She laughs her ass off. But I mean, it's, it scares me because I know this is where this is headed, and it just bothers me that it's this wrong. So maybe in 100 years, AI might grow up to be a cool thing. But remember, guys, first question ever asked to AI, how can you save the world? What was the answer? Get rid of the humans.
Get rid of the what?
Get rid of the humans.
Get rid of the humans. I think we've known that for a long time, though, right? Haven't we?
So I wrote a question to Google and said, well, that was just a stupid question, wasn't it? Because that's not how you ask it. I said, now ask it, how do you save the world? No, how do you save humans and the world together? And then wrote some. Right. They sent me this thing. This thing was like 100 paragraphs long. It was like jibber jabber. Matter of fact, most books I've seen come out of AI. You might see some good stuff in the front. You might even see some really good stuff at the end, but all the middle is jibber jabber. It's unreadable. It's not even coherent. I mean, it's just like words. It's like listening to Kamala Harris, actually. It's a word salad. What's Jack? I didn't like Kamala. I haven't liked the presidential. Why don't you get me started on this? We'll save this for another show. But honestly, it's been a while since I've really liked anybody. Yeah, I don't. What's a long time? 30 years at least. Because they just seem to be dumb. I really think now we should have two things that you should have to be president. There should be a test on the Constitution. Matter of fact, for the Senate and the House too. There should be a test on the Constitution that you actually know what the Constitution is, okay, and that your IQ is over 120. Yes, and then okay, I don't have no problem with who you are. Yes, it's just don't stop. Go to the other room. You punish. Go to another room. Sorry, guys. They know we got a show coming up after this, and they know what's going on. It's it's fun. It's fun to get into all of this because I want to see where this goes. A good friend of mine owns a gaming company in New Orleans, a pretty big one. And when I first met him, I was doing an interview with him because he was hiring people at $100,000. He was hiring writers, illustrators, and programmers, coders, basically. And he didn't care. As long as you had the skills, he was hiring you. So I ran into him a while back, just about 8 months ago. We had lunch and we talked, and I said, so what's up? So he says, look, AI is making my life easier, but I can't get rid of the people I got, and I want to add some more. So his new goal is he has his authors writing the screenplays, getting everything together, getting everything the way he wants. And they work through session after session until it's exactly how the owner wants it. They do the same thing with the illustrators. And then each illustrator, each author is partially in charge of making sure part of the AI is taking that part of the story, replicating it correctly. So what happens is for him is instead of taking 3.5 years to develop a game, he's doing them in a year, which means he was enough that he could afford to give all of his people a $25,000 a year raise. Everybody.
That's cool.
And he's not getting rid of people. He's hiring people. He said this way. He said people took it the wrong way. I got my people, and I can add more people in. And instead of producing one game every 3 years, I can produce 2 or 3 games a year now. He said it's just a whole different thing. I was like, well, that's just great for you. You're already rich as can be. Much more money you need. AI is going to have a purpose, John. It's just what its final purpose is going to be. Is it going to be driving us around in our cars? I like to drive my car. I don't know about these two guys, but I like to drive my car. Yes, I drive pretty good.
Well,
too.
I'm in Los Angeles. So you see plenty of Waymo cars out here. So
yeah,
there's no shortage of them. And I haven't gotten in one yet, but you know, I have plenty of friends who have taken them, and they're actually seem fairly reasonable too. So
What
What's a
so
Waymo
there you go.
car?
There's AI and driving. What's that?
Is that an AI driven car? What's a Waymo car? I'm not sure what
that's
that
what it
is.
is. Self-driven.
Yeah, Waymo is self-driven. Yeah,
Gotcha.
there is no driver. They
And
come
they
and
can do
pick you
that
up
like in the
like
city. It'll
Lyft or Uber
Yeah. So it started. Where
in the
was it
city.
originally?
Yeah,
Yeah,
in
it
the
started
city.
in Phoenix. Man, when I went to go see John and them in Phoenix last February, they were everywhere. I mean, it was like every third car was one. And then because the year before last when I was in LA, there wasn't any, but now they got them in LA. So, but there's only like 4 cities they're using them in right now, and of course it's going to expand. Just like the other day they were talking. So they've got automated trucks on the 18 wheelers on the road, but they have to mark them so people know that's what they are. Now, eventually that'll go away, but right now they have to mark them so you know what they are. Oh man, look, that's taking jobs away, people. Is it going to be like we're going to
That's
all
right.
just get a salary for being alive and then we don't have to do nothing else? This is not going to work for me. Look, I'm not a good sit at home kind of
I don't know
person,
about
man.
that.
So you artists can write.
Mhm.
I'll be going crazy, man. Carmen can go sit at home either. I can tell you now. It's, I know John and Emily won't be able. They'll go
Anyway,
crazy. He left.
Joe, we've we've talked about AI here, but we have a real author here. So maybe
Yes,
I
we've been
should
talking about
ask
the
him
author.
some questions about this. So, but one of the things I had a chance to talk to him briefly before the show started, and I gave him the title of Renaissance Man after reading his biography, and he's had quite a variety of endeavors and careers or jobs, and I was curious myself, does that play into your writing when you're writing fantasy?
I I would have to say absolutely. I mean, uh, the one of the things that I think epic fantasy does really well is it takes its characters on journeys, right? I mean, you think about Lord of the Rings; they start in the Shire and they, head on to Bree, then Rivendell, then, off to Mordor and just travel all over. That's like part of the whole Golden Fleece sort of story type. And I traveled a lot in my youth. And now actually I travel a lot just for the sort of Comic-Con oriented business that I do. And so, yeah, absolutely. I mean, the experiences that I've been through and all that stuff.
And where
Right.
oh, nice. Where are you now?
I'm in Denver, essentially, like south of Denver.
Todd. Oh, okay. Okay, got it. Just out of curiosity, did you attend the Superstars conference recently?
I did actually. Just got back last Sunday.
Okay.
Yep. That's where I was
okay.
hanging.
Got it. Yeah.
Ray Porter
Okay.
and lots of other great, fantastic, talented people. It's a wonderful conference. I go every year. I've been going for, gosh, I think it's been a decade now, or almost a decade that I've been going to this thing. Yeah, I do a couple of workshops on in-person sales. That's one of my strong suits as far as an indie author platform goes. So they bring me in to teach about how to set up a booth, how to make it presentable, how to pitch your books to people going by, and that's a lot of what I do in the marketing and sales side.
Oh, cool. Right. Well, that's interesting because there was a lot of people that well, of course, the Writers of the Future people were there. You probably may have seen John Goodwin and Emily Goodwin.
And Emily, yep.
Okay, good. Okay, good. Yeah, that was one of the how I got in touch with you in the first place was John, I believe, met you at one of these conferences, and then he
John was one of the first ones to
and
interview
then
us.
he goes,
Yeah, he was one of the first ones to interview us when we did the Eldros Legacy, which is actually my top selling series at this point. Khyven the Unkillable, Laurel the Dark, Ren the Traveler, Slater and the Dragon, and Bane of Giants. It's a 5-book series that actually started in conjunction with 4 other authors. And everybody had their own continent. And then we would write our story on our continent. And then at a certain point, we hope to link them together. But some people are faster writers than others. And so that the linking together hasn't quite happened yet. But the story for my characters is all complete at this point.
Yeah, it's true. Some people write faster than others. That's
so
true.
at some point there's something that comes out and it's where this is all linked together then?
Correct. The idea was that we were going to each do, the idea was we were each going to do like a 5-book series. And then in the 6th book, we were going to kind of integrate at least parts of our fantasy heroes together, kind of like the Avengers did with the various Marvel movies. That was the idea. So when the others get up to 5 books, that's hopefully that will then take place.
Wow. That's an interesting concept there. So you get all the readers from all of the other authors. And,
Yep. It's really fun when somebody comes by my booth at an event and they say, yeah, I got this cool Eldros book. And they've got, because the logo is the same on all, like the top logo is the same on all of the books, right? Even though there are different storylines. And it's fun to watch them go to a con where there are 2, maybe 3 other authors from the Eldros Legacy at that con, and they kind of mix and match and collect these various stories from the various parts of the sort of mega epic fantasy world that we've got. Because not only did we have the 3 other founders, but we had more than a dozen cohort authors is what we called. So there were 4 founders, me, Quincy J. Allen, Marie Whitaker, and Mark Stallings. And we're the ones that kind of created and built out this world. And then we invited other authors to write within our continents. And so there was more than a dozen writers that did that as well. And so there's all these different kinds of stories that you can get into. It's all the same world. Yeah.
Wow. Nice. Yeah. I think Marie's been on this show. Maria Whitaker's been on this show too.
Yeah, I would be surprised if she hadn't been. Yeah. She's great. Love Marie.
Oh, okay. I didn't know she was one of your co-writers though. So that's, or
well, she's one of the founders,
but
yeah, she's one of the original founders. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was actually texting with her just today.
And you're one of the founders.
I am. Okay. Yep. It's me.
And you're one of the founders too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The four founders of Eldros Legacy: Quincy J. Allen, me, Marie Whitaker, and then Mark Stallings.
Nice. And is that part of your newest stuff that's out, or do you have things that are newer that are out?
So yeah, actually, Eldros Legacy is my most recent completed series. My most recent completed book is the 3rd book in the Tower of the Four series, which is completely different. It's not written with other authors. And then the thing that I'm working on right now, I'm working on 2 things. One is a humongous fantasy project. I don't even know how long it's going to be at this point, but I'm 370,000 words into it. Jeez. I was wanting to make it just 1 volume, but I got to 370,000 words and I'm like, it's going to be at least 2 or 3, probably maybe 6. Yeah. Anyways, so I'm working on that, but I don't want to put it out into the world until it's finished. I think a lot of epic fantasy readers are sick of the never-ending series. Like they see the first book come out and the 2nd book, and a lot of readers that come up to me at the con, they say, you know what, this looked really great, but I am not starting the first one until the last one is written, which kind of makes it hard on the writers, because if there's no interest, then sometimes that project just dies out. But at the same time, I totally understand the reader's perspective. There's been so many great fantasy stories that haven't been finished at this point. You know, I mean, like Game of Thrones isn't finished. The Patrick Rothfuss story, the Kingkiller Chronicles, really good stuff. but it seems like it's just never, it's never finished. So I understand their frustration. What I wanted to do was finish the whole story and then publish it. I may do a Kickstarter on that, just to kind of get the whole thing out all at once.
You know, wow. that's probably part of that society now.
Yeah,
you guys are.
No, I was going to say Patrick Rothfuss is he's in one of the L. Ron Hubbard Presents Writers of the Future. I can't recall which volume, but apparently he was, what John has told me, he had a novel and he kept trying to get it published, couldn't get it published. And somebody read it and said, hey, you ought to just take a chapter out of here, make a short story out of it, and submit it to Writers of the Future. And he ended up winning the grand prize, I believe. So that's how
that's a cool story.
That was his Kickstarter, so to speak. So. Mm-hmm. And Joe, you were going to say something?
Well, I was thinking when you was talking about the way people are about these books, I was, today we're a kind of society, we consume everything. We've gotten used to Netflix and all these people dropping everything at one time. Mm-hmm. So we don't have to wait to see the end of a series or see the end. See the end of that year. We'll get it all at once. Now everybody doesn't do it. I noticed the new Star Trek's not doing Academy. They're putting them out weekly, but Amazon tends to drop everything at one time. So you'll get all the shows at once. Netflix does it a lot. They'll drop everything at one time. So they'll drop, 8, 9, 10, 12 episodes. And then you'll just sit there and, veg out on episodes instead of spreading it over 12 weeks. You'll do it in probably a weekend.
Right.
And I think it's becoming that way for books. People are starting to expect the same thing with their books. They're like, well, if you're going to do one of these epic series, just write the damn thing, drop the damn thing, and we'll read it up. And, in the long run, it might make you more money.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I do not blame them. Like, I want to read the whole story too. I want to get to the end. That's, part of the fantastic aspect of reading. And, binging shows, I am as guilty as the next person. I'll sit down and I'll just watch it every chance I get until it's done, My favorite one recently was Pluribus on Apple Plus. Have you guys watched that yet?
I don't think I've seen it yet.
Man, the first 3 episodes are some of the best TV I've ever seen. Then it kind of softens a little bit in the middle, but then it kind of comes back in the end. So I'm curious what they'll do with season 2. But man, those first 3 episodes, I was completely sucked into that. So
I'll check it out. Yeah, I'm always looking for some. My problem is I got limited viewing time these days and it's usually early in the morning or late at night. Well, tonight I'll get through around midnight. And then I'll go make me something to eat, and then probably about 1 o'clock I'll turn on the TV. Now, as long as it's up there, I can go back and watch it. Because I got a big 70-inch TV in the bedroom, big surround sound system. It's great. And if I get really bored, I got 1,600 watts in here, so I can hook it up to my TV and blast the house out. It's and I enjoy that, but part of me, it's a bitch because part of me says, I want it every week. And the other part of me is not drop it all down. I can sit on the weekend, just chill out, cook all weekend, just veg out, man. It's a tough one, man. It's a tough call. I think I can go either way, but with books, I can understand the series you want to get it all at one time because I've noticed a lot of authors will get 2 or 3 books in and then poof. I know some personally because, I know a few of them now. With these guys, I've interviewed more than 100 authors, but since I've been doing this, more than 1,000. So I've kind of got an idea of how their brains work.
Yeah.
And I can understand you don't want to sit there. I know you kind of got to be in the mood to write and have it together. And it's going to be hard just to sit there and pump out 3, 4, 5 volumes. Not volumes, sorry guys.
That's the pharmacists that pump out volumes. That's
5 volumes will all be sleeping.
Right.
I'm not gonna worry about it. But I can see where it'd be tough because you got to be in mindset for it. You come off a book, you're like, yeah, I'm done. Novel looks great, came out good. Oh shit, I got to write 3 more. Damn. You get the second one, good, and then it gets a little harder as it goes. I know, and that's the thing. If you can't put them out on sale, then you're not getting the incentive to keep writing. That makes it double hard, because a book sells, starts selling. You're like, well, yeah, it's motivation to do it. And I think the reader don't understand that because, hey, you got to eat, you got to pay your bills.
Right. It does make it tricky when you're, I mean, like that whole notion of completing a very long series before you release it. You're not making money on books 1, 2, 3, and 4. If it's a 6-book series and you haven't put them out yet, right? I mean, they're just sitting there doing nothing.
Sitting there. And then you got to be careful because the mood of the country, well, not just the country anymore, but the mood of the planet swings a lot. You might be finishing a novel at that time that might be perfect to release at that time because of the mindset of people. A year down the line, 18 months down the line, new president, new politics, and people got in a whole different mood. They're looking at the world different. It makes it hard sometimes, And what's that, Jack? What do you mean? What are you talking about? Benny says sells where better. You're gonna have to send me some data on that, my friend. I have never looked at political parties who no, they all buy books, but it's who reads what. I have never really looked at. I will now that you ask me, but I've never looked into that. I have no idea. Republicans like this or Democrats. If it's a Bible, we'll give it to the Republicans. How's that? I don't know. It's something that would be worth looking into. I'll get one of the guys over. I own APC. I'll get one of the guys over the American Polling Company to look into it and see what comes out. But I really don't know. Any of y'all got an idea? I mean, I've never paid that much attention. Everybody I know reads. And I know liberals, conservatives, centralists, libertarians.
All across the spectrum. Yep.
Yeah, they all seem to like to read.
Every single demographic, for sure.
Well, Jack, I'm involved in a few things to help reading because I live in Louisiana and Mississippi, which are 2 states that have gotten better, but are still, I don't want to say what I was going to say, but let's just say they have a long ways to go to really get in their whole population reading. No, they want to, but sometimes they just don't have access to things. No, I give away a lot of books just because of that. I want people to read it. These trilogies are great for that because it's not just one story. I mean, these anthologies are great for that because it's not just one story. You can hand them a book and say, "Here, get your imagination working again." It helps keep off drugs. You'd be surprised. But literacy is a big thing in the South because for a long time, Mississippi was like 1/3 of the population couldn't read. So I mean that's ridiculous in the modern era. That should never be like that. So it's time to change it. Now Mississippi got all kind of casino money. It moved from 50th in education to 26th, like in no time at all. Everything it's gone up and doubled. And give it another 5 years, it'll be in the top 10. They've already said that. So I was like, it's amazing to watch, though. It really is. Look, everybody should want to read. Everybody should want to read. And look, if you can't read, get the audiobook. I'm gonna be frank with you people. I'd rather my kids listening to audiobooks than watching TV until they're a little bit older.
I love audiobooks.
Yeah. Teaching to read, teaching to
you could
listen.
probably learn to you could probably learn to read from the audiobooks, right? You just follow along.
Yeah, they usually they'll send you like a lot of the audiobooks will send you like a paper pamphlet of the book. Not just not always though, guys. You have to look and see. What's that? I haven't seen it. I guess I just sent him a train. Yeah, train at your house, Carmen. What are you doing over there, man? Let me hit the guest again.
No, not me. That's no trains around here.
You were mentioning reading a book and listening to the audiobook at the same time. And I was like, there's a term for that because there are people who do that. It's immersive reading is what they call it. And I had to go jot that down real quick and see it because I had heard it before. But it's like a thing. It's like you listen to the audiobook and read the book at the same time. So you're right. I think if kids are wanting to learn to read, like that wonderful immersive activity of listening to the audiobook and then looking at the words, that's got to help, right? I mean, like that's sort of reading 101, right?
Right. Yeah, exactly. That would be probably something that should be explored more in depth because it gets people interested in the art of reading and that literary art, and then it's also like a teaching tool too. So, and somebody just gets an understanding of it's not like just the words, but actually the grammar and how it's put together and what it communicates.
Well, it's nice to be able to listen to when you go through, because a lot of words and a lot of books, especially if you're a new reader, or if you're a younger reader, a lot of those words you have no idea what the hell they mean. And so it would be nice when you hear the word, so you'll be like immediately identify the word. Jack, I come from a state where nobody knows what the words mean. You ever heard of Chappaloosis? Thibodeau? Yeah. I mean, really, they're like imaginary names. No, they're real names, but they're like imaginary names, yes. And all of them are like a mile long, so it's a different place. Yeah, you got to wonder how there's any. It's strange. It's just.
I'm a big fan of unusual names. On the way down to Santa Fe, my wife's father lives in Santa Fe. There is a couple of towns, Watrous and Valmora, but on the interstate it says Watrous Valmora, and I keep thinking I got to make a character named Watrous Valmora. That just sounds like a fantasy character, doesn't it?
I know it does. But when you travel,
Absolutely, yes.
There's a lot of places in this country that has weird names. I mean, you get to Florida, everything is an Indian name, and another one of those where the names are 5 miles long. They're hard to pronounce, and they look at you funny if you pronounce them wrong. So that's just one of them things. So there's a little town in Louisiana called Laplace.
Right. That's kind of like.
So it's spelled Laplace, but it's actually pronounced Laplace. Yes. It's not called Laplace, people. It's called Laplace. Don't go up there and call it Laplace, because first off the bat, they're going to know you're not from around here. They're going to feed you to the gators, man. They're going to be like, oh. And some guy was arguing me about Baton Rouge one day. He goes, Chuck, it means red stick.
I don't like
it. Actually means stick red. People are just crazy.
It's kind of like in The Expanse. Their the name of their spaceship, they call it the Rocinante.
Yes.
Which is the horse that Don Quixote rode. So
that was the name of the horse?
Kind of like maybe I believe so. Yeah, the Rocinante.
That's cool.
Or somebody will text into Joe. And
if it's wrong, don't trust me. Somebody will be like, "What the hell, you idiot!" I can hear him now. No, Bruce, if you've never seen Expanse, it's 6 seasons. Season
I better
one
be right about this.
Yeah. Season 1 is good. Season 2 is good. Season 3 is really good. Season 4 is boring. Season 5 is a little better, and season 6 is good. My favorite character in the whole thing's the old lady. Oh yeah, she's my favorite by far. She's a real famous actress. I can't think of her name right now. She's Indian.
She's the one with a really unusual voice, like that sort of almost.
Yeah. Then she always wears these really fancy outfits. It's she ends up being the
Middle Eastern,
but she's a handful. No, I didn't like James, because every time I seen James, he was naked. I mean, come on, I'm a guy. I want to see that guy naked. I'm sorry. It's a thing, man. It's not something I'm into. It's oh no, actually, to be fair with y'all, Expanse in the beginning had a little bit of sex in it, and a little bit here and there. But once you got past like episode 2 and 3, it probably just kind of chilled out. Not like Altered Carbon. Altered Carbon was it's a really good series, but it is a really just. They don't like to wear clothes in that series, is all I can say.
So if that's your cup of tea, then definitely head for.
What's funny about this, because this is about people who live forever, and how society grows, and this is 300 years in the future, and how we've traveled to other planets. This thing that you put in your neck that records it keeps the essence of you. So anytime you die, they just take it and put in another one. The funny part about it is, if you're poor, they just stick it in anybody. So you might be a woman. They put this old lady in an old drug guy's body. He's got the DTs and all, because he ain't his cigarettes and drugs. And the old lady's freaking out. She don't know why. She said, if you're rich, you got state-of-the-art bodies with designer things in them, muscle memory and stuff like that. I mean, it's really serious technology in this movie, in this series. But it was they just couldn't leave the drugs and nakedness alone, man. Lord. And I'm not again. I'm an adult, so it doesn't really bother me. But still, I always warn people, because a friend of mine sat on the watch. He was a kid one day. He comes and said, "Joe, you could have warned me." I said, "I apologize." I said, "I didn't think you were watching it with your kid, man. It's not a kid watching a movie." I said, "Maybe if he's 17, man." It's hard because
Anyway,
Captain America's in it.
Joe, I have an update.
Oh, what happened with the guest?
Rocinante is the weak and skinny horse of Don Quixote.
Yeah, so you got it. Yeah, you knew it right. He checked it out. It's James. No, we have a guest too, but I haven't seen him. No, we sent him a couple of times, so no telling what's going on. They might. A lot of times when guest is a no show, it's usually a time zone thing. Yes, because we're in. I'm in Central Time. Carmen's out there in West Coast time. Where you at, Todd? What zone you?
Mountain.
Well, he's in Mountain Time, so he's in between time. Yeah. Arizona don't change times, my friends. They just don't do it. Arizona refuses to change time. They give you the finger. That's all they do.
Yeah. Jen.
Was it Michael?
Jen's on Eastern time. She's supposed to be coming in soon.
Yeah, so
be sure and say hi to her for me.
I actually
well, you might see her.
Oh, okay.
She should have already been here about 20 minutes ago.
You might be on together.
Frank,
I gotta step out for a second and I'll be right back.
Go ahead, check it. And that's cool. Frank says,
and I'll be
Todd,
right
you
back.
got a website? All right, we got you covered, Colin. Yeah, Frank was asking if you got a website, Todd. I guess
okay.
Yeah, so I'll put it in the comments. Is that where I should put it?
Yeah, put it in the comments. Because if you put it there, it goes to all of our Outview, all the YouTubes and X's and Facebook and all that stuff. Yeah, we got it set up so all the chat rooms are tied together.
Now I should be able to. Okay, so it's Todd Fahnestock. So it's toddfahnestock.com. It's my name, no spaces.com. But maybe it didn't post.
Oh, wait, hold on. Let me go to comment and see. No, I didn't see that. It should post. You're in the regular comments, not in the private?
Yeah, I went to regular. It says this comment has failed to post to UFO gods and AMP. Semicolon extraterrestrials. Not sure what.
So maybe it posted to the rest. That don't make any sense.
The rest, but not that one. Okay.
Okay.
But anyways, I mean, like, my name's on the screen there, so just take.
You know what? Look, do me a favor and just put it in the private one, and I'll pull it out and put it in.
Okay.
I don't know why it's giving you trouble because I'm looking at the top of the screen. Everything seems to be on. So we're on so many servers. It's almost. Matter of fact, we just added 10 new ones the other day, but we're on over 200 outbound servers. It's insane. And some of these people I've had deals with for going over 20 years. The Hong Kong servers with Pioneer Radio, I've had, well, I own Pioneer now, but it's the guy who gave it to me. Well, he'd been there 25 years. Kind of fact, it was so funny. I had a lady write to me a couple of days ago about she's coming down from New Orleans, her and her family. And she sent me a little text message. Can we come by and see you and your family? She said, we listen to you. The whole bunch of us listen to y'all all the time. She said, well, I only actually listen to you because you're the real asshole. But, I'm sorry, ladies. I don't usually curse in the show. Authors Quill and UFO on the Cover are both PG-13. But the chat and News on the Flip Side are R-rated. So sometimes it might even get a little X in there.
Well, I posted it in the private chat for you, so it's there now. I tried again in the comment chat, but it didn't. The comments chat, but it didn't do it.
Yeah, I see it post right up in private. I wonder what's up with the comment. Right, let's go back. Let's see, grab it out of there. Hit copy. Dun, dun, dun. Comments. Dun, dun, dun. Bam. Come on. Yeah, there it goes. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why. So I know, sometimes these things give you trouble. Sometimes they don't. I don't know why. And recently, StreamYard decided to do a complete remodel of everything. Man, I'm telling you, when I stand at the beginning of the show, my hosts are mad. They're hot. You learn everything, and then now everything's in different places. It works differently. And I understand let's get better. But this ain't actually getting better. This was just making things look different. It didn't really give you any more.
That's one of the things that I despise about updates. Oftentimes, the thing update, it's like update your phone, update your operating system, and I update it, and nothing is really better or easier for me. And some of the things that I knew how to do, now I don't know how to do.
Yes, I know. I hate that.
Yeah, that bugs me.
It's just the most irritating thing when they do that. I actually wrote to them a couple times. I said, stop fixing things that ain't broke. I said, I've talked to 100 members of y'all's today, and all of them are pissed. I said, why don't you try doing this from now on? I said, since we have a network on here, not just one show, why don't you let us know when you're going to do updates ahead of time? I said, because the other day I deleted a bunch of crap, which we could have just moved to somewhere else. And they're all like, oh, we sorry. And I mean, I appreciate it. I want them to get better and everything to work good, but I don't want to mess with my in the meanwhile. It's Bruce, what do you mean? How do you become an author? I don't understand the question. No, I'm gonna let Todd field this because I'm not
Write
an author.
every day.
There you go.
Find the time to write. One of my favorite quotes is, "The muse will find you, but she has to find you working." So, sit in the chair, even if you're not inspired, and write one sentence. Whenever I'm not inspired to write, the thing that I do is I tell my wife, I'm going to go write one sentence. And sometimes, though only about 10% of the time, I actually write only one sentence. Most of the time, I'll start writing that one sentence and then another one will occur to me, and I'll be in there for half an hour. I'll write like 500 words. That's how I get myself back into the story. So yeah, you want to be a writer, write every day. Do something. Yeah. You can do it.
That's what Nick, a friend of mine, Nick Redfern, he's well, in the beginning, I think he was a ufology writer. Now he just writes. So he goes in, he's got an office at his house. He goes in at 9 a.m, brings a cup of coffee and goes write. He takes a lunch break, comes back. He's a 9 to 5 writer 5 days a week. He's got 174 books to his credit.
Yeah,
I'm like, Jesus, dude, calm down. I mean, it would be one thing. I mean, because none of it's like really fantasy or science fiction. It's kind of like a cross between fiction and facts, because a lot of the stuff he's doing on, he'll write like a book on Bigfoot, any facts he can find on Bigfoot. Well, what facts are there in Bigfoot? We don't even know a damn thing exists. Well, he'll write about UFOs or ghosts or demons, and then he'll go write about. He stays away from politics, and I tell this. One of the lectures I give when I'm at Writers of the Future, one of the first things I tell people is, don't give your politics out. And I said, just stay out of it. I said, I don't care how passionate you are. If you decide to take a side, you just lost half your audience. The country is too polarized right now to take a side. In the old days, you could have took a side and people would have still bought your story. I said, a perfect example. J.K. Rowling's she put out the first 3 movies, big smashes. Everybody loved it. She came out, got in the middle of politics. Her last 6 ones came out were flops. I mean, I said, come on, guys. The Hobbit was a flop. How can that be a flop? And then the new series was a flop, which I like the new series with the strange animals. And,
the Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah,
and where to
so,
find
I mean,
them.
So I mean, the last one's kind of boring, but I mean, still, but in her face, you can't. She said, okay, I'm a liberal, so the conservatives said we're not going to buy your books anymore. And since conservatives for kids, they buy more kids' books, that was a dumb thing. But it doesn't matter because, I mean, half the planet is conservative. You just said, well, you know what? We don't want your money. Oh, no. You mean Taylor? She learned that lesson, too. She came out, and for Kamala Harris, her next conference was half as much money. And they were running around and say, oh, it was records. And the record company came out and said, no, that's not true. It's just dangerous.
I think probably both Taylor and J.K. Rowling are maybe a little bit beyond caring how much money.
Yeah, I agree with that. Actually, J.K. came out and said, you know what? I'm not going to be a blank in this one anymore. I'm not going to be a blank. She said, I'm just going to be me. And sometimes I might be in this area and sometimes I might be in this area. But you know what? I'm still going to state my opinion, which is cool. And you're right. They have the kind of money. Well, I mean, come on. What is Taylor worth? $1.3 billion, $1.5 billion? I mean, really, who's going to really? And her money's not invested in stocks. It's just money. It's some people say they're rich, like Elon, because he has all that stock. But Tyler's not rich because she has stock. She's just rich because she made the money. No, Elon. Last I heard, Bruce, by next summer he should be worth about $1.5 trillion. Yeah, $1 trillion.
That's a lot of money.
So let me put this in perspective. He'll be the 3rd richest country in the world, or 4th. I'm sorry. Yeah, 4th richest country in the world. And by the time he lands on Mars, he will be in the top 3 richest countries in the world. And he ain't even a country, people. It's a lot of countries' budgets aren't even 1.5 trillion. Yeah, so and that's just, wait a minute, that's just from Tesla. We're not even talking about SpaceX. Once SpaceX lands on Mars, it's over with. He'll be worth trillions. And whoever gets to that, there's a asteroid out there that is worth more money than the whole world over 100 million times. One asteroid.
What's on the asteroid?
It's several things, several different things. It's got several different metals that weren't supposed to be in an asteroid, because they always told us that the asteroid belt was a planet that didn't form. But some of these metals they found can only be found inside of a planet that formed. So now NASA's like, well, we're not exactly sure what happened here. I'm like, yeah, okay. Well, I like NASA, but they boo-boo a lot. It's one of those things. Well, John, first thing I learned about science, because I have a bachelor's in science, is science is wrong more than it's right. But when it's right, it's right. It's just, it's not always right. And sometimes it thinks it's right, and it's not. Like when they used to use leeches to cure you from stuff.
Right, exactly.
That was science back in the day, people.
That's kind of the core of the scientific method, right? You do things until you learn something that's more accurate, and then you build on that, and you keep.
Oh, I guarantee in 100 years they're going to see they use chemo to treat. Didn't they know chemo killed people?
Right. Yeah.
So I mean, it's unfortunate how it. I know I'm a big science geek, but but also a big science. Well, no. To be frank with you, probably science and sci-fi and fantasy is probably what got me into science. If I had to be honest about it, watching Star Trek and watching those fantasy,
you're not the only one.
dragon movies and stuff, it's what got me into it. And I'll tell you what, I did an interview with some astronauts not too long ago, and every one of them I asked, I said, "How did you get? What brought you in this?" A bunch of them said like Buck Rogers from 1920 and stuff, 1930. I mean, some of this stuff I'm like, wow, have you really watched it? Yeah, like, it's amazing how many of them. And the guy who invented the laser said he invented it from watching Buck Rogers. And then I've wished into several medical companies now talk about. So we've got a new. Well, we've had these beds out for a while, these hospital beds that can weigh you and take your blood pressure and temperature and all that. Now they even get more sophisticated than that. And then they also got a little robot that rolls into the room and sets up like a camera and monitors you while you're in there for people who are, dangerous of dying or something. It's getting a little crazy, but yes, this is all Star Trek stuff. It's right out of science fiction.
Well, I mean, come on. Flip phones came straight from Star Trek. You can't tell me that they didn't.
Captain Kirk, my friend.
Yeah, exactly. That age of flip phones was straight out of Star Trek. Which is fantastic. And now we all have personal communicators. Like, we don't even think about it anymore.
Yeah. Well, actually, Jimmy, your camera and your communicator is the least thing your phone does now. Phones are way more sophisticated. We shouldn't. Most people don't even call these phones anymore. They got a new name for that. Z-Geners call them computers. That's what they're calling, baby computers. They're not even calling phones anymore. It's like everything you do on your computer, you can now do on your phone. I mean, the two I got sitting next to me, one's a 16 core, one's an 8 core. I mean, these are phones, and they got as much power as some of the computers. I mean, the studio runs on 36 core computers, 336 and 224s. And granted, they're running 128 megs of RAM, which is more than the phone's going to run. But still, these little phones can keep out. I can. If I'm in the field, because this one's got a 120 megapixel camera on it. If I'm in the field, I can actually set this one up to broadcast in live. I can hook it up to the StreamYard system and use it as a camera, mic, the whole 9 yards. It's amazing, people. It's freaking amazing, is what it is. And the software now is so interchangeable. It's I don't know what to tell you, but we don't need to change phones every 3 years, people. I mean, every year. I'm sorry. I do, because I destroy them, but an average phone, you shouldn't have to change your phone by about once every 2 years. And if we stop changing, whatchamacallit, what are we, 5G right now? So if we stop changing that, you won't have to get a new phone that often. Everybody had to update because we did away with 3G, so we got 4G and 5G Lite, LTE actually, and they just call it Lite. Yes, and last I heard, we were all going to die when 5G came out. It was going to microwave our brains and kill us all and melt us down. And you conspiracy people can be really freaky sometimes. I'm just saying. Go read some books. Todd said he got some books for you. Come read. Go buy some books from Todd. Read them. It's wintertime. People's cold outside. Most not here. It's 74 degrees outside here, but go get you a book. Some of these books he was talking, the titles he was talking about earlier sound pretty interesting. Go buy a book, sit down, read it, enjoy it. And then pass that book on to a friend and buy another one. Unless you like me, you just like hoarding them. So no, Michael, that is true. I had 4,800 books before Katrina, all signed books too, all from authors that had been signed. And Katrina came along, and I got lucky. I didn't get water in my house in Katrina. I got about this much, and the books didn't get wet. Well, the humidity was so high, the books swole up and busted the cases and fell on the floor. So I lost about. I had about 1,000 books left after that, and we probably accumulated 1,000. But we actually had a Linden library and stuff. And we would dig into it. Matter of fact, there's communities in the South, all over the South, and in Florida and places you'll see them. You'll drive through a neighborhood and they'll have these looks like little houses out in front of the houses on a stick. It's a little library. They usually have 8, 10 books in it. People swapping books out, and it's all over there, especially in the artiste communities. They love that stuff because, like myself, we all know that the South needs to learn to read better, so we're all pushing literacy. Well, it's not like it was 20 years ago, but it's still got a ways to go. It's about 8%, I think. Compared to a city like New York, it's probably 8 or 10%. Well, no, New Yorkers can read, but sometimes it's not. Look, I love the school system. I'm not getting, you can't afford to go to a private school or go to a Christian school, then find the best public school you can go to. I was real lucky with my son. He got to go. I was going to put him in private school, but we happened to move into a neighborhood where the public schools are really good. I don't know. Todd's rich. Ask him to give you some money. He looks like he got a couple $100 million in the bank, man. Say, hey, Todd, can I have some money?
I wish that were true.
Carmen's a sugar daddy. We know what Carmen. He got more money than God. It's he's got so much money. Some people just got that money, man. Not me. I'm poor. What are you talking about? No, I'm poor, man. What do you mean you're looking behind me? I'm not poor. What the hell are you talking about? There's a skeleton back. He can't even eat, man. Come on. There's a damn alien skeleton at that. I'll give you a break. Oh, you're talking about the picture? It is actually 24 karat gold foil. Yes, it is. So there's 3 versions of them. I could have bought at that store. And I kept asking, I said, why is this one like $200 more than the other ones? And he said, here, let me show you. Because it's got a certificate on the back and the whole 9 yards. Yeah. No, be an author. Get out there and write. Todd wants you to get around. I want you to write. Carmen wants you to write. Wait, who asked that question? Somebody. Are you married, Todd? Somebody had to ask this question.
I am actually. Yeah, been married for over 20 years. I'm not seeing the comments. I hear you reading these comments.
Because it's on my message board.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So what we do is we have the 8 comments from the YouTube and all of them. And then we have the message board for my messenger. Also, my messengers are tied together for my personal pages on Facebook. And then we have Pal Talk. So we take questions. We take questions off of all of them. Well, Pal Talk we used to have way back in the day. And then we finally brought it over to the new station and started using it again. Because those people actually over there actually ask real questions. It's like they take their time and educate themselves before they ask a question. Some people who ask questions like off my messenger, a lot of times I'll just watch it scroll by, just ignore it. They're always asking when Carmen's going to get hooked up. I know. Cal, so you live in LA, Cal? Are you like, what are you, 6'1"? Yeah, Carmen like meeting you. He likes tall girls. Long-legged girls are woo woo. I'm glad you told me all that. I'm sorry, baby. I can't mention that on the air here. I apologize.
Now I'm really curious what she said.
My manager will fire me, even though she don't own the station, and I do. She will still fire me. No, my manager's tough. She don't play. She told me one day because me and the boys got a strike a couple of weeks back. She goes, "You're trying to get fired, aren't you?" I was like, "No, not." I wish I could write. I mean, Todd sounds like he just does it. I mean, it just sounds comfortable to him, and it's part of his life. And Samantha said, "How many jobs do you have?" Where did that question come from?
So me, how many jobs do I have?
Yeah, how many? Yeah, I could.
So I've had a lot of jobs over the course of my life, but right now I'm a full-time writer. Essentially, I write my stories, then I go out to Comic-Cons and meet fans and sell books and sign books and do panels and that sort of thing. So it's pretty much at this point my ideal life. I just love doing it, and yeah, and I've got a Patreon now. If you guys are interested in seeing kind of behind the scenes, I just started in December putting up chapters before I'm going to publish them, so it's part of this story that I'm working on right now for people who want to see kind of ahead of time. That the downside is, or at least it could be an upside for some people, like there may be things that change. So if you jump on the Patreon, it's like $4 a month to be part of the Patreon, and you get all the chapters as I'm writing them, as they come out. But the catch is that if I decide something needs to alter about the story, those chapters may actually get deleted. They may get removed. So it's kind of a cool behind the scenes opportunity where you can kind of see as I'm creating the story, and then you can kind of see how I shape it as I go along. Sometimes I'll add chapters in the beginning and, kind of push the chapters that are at the beginning towards the middle. And sometimes I'll just remove things altogether or add to it. So it's kind of fun. If you're interested in seeing behind the scenes, it's really cool. If you're the type that's like, nope, once I read the story, I want it to be the story, then wait for it to come out later in the year.
Yeah. I cannot pronounce it. I know you're from Qatar, but I can't. Well, I would have said Muhammad, something or another, but that's definitely not what it is. But anyway, we got a lot of listeners in the Middle East. Yeah, we do actually have quite a few. Actually, we had more in Iran until Trump started bombing them. I don't know what to tell y'all on that one. It's what about it? So what you want to do is you want to go over to writersofthefuture.com, and there's a course you can take there. It's a writer's course. Now I've taken it 3 times, but my problem is the course is a good course, but at the end of the course they want you to write a story. I'm like, this is not.
That's where the rubber meets the road. Right?
The video, yeah, it's true. The videos over there are great. They got like Orson Scott Card and Tim Powers, and all these guys got big movies too. Well, Tim Powers wrote A Stranger Tide, which is the basis of the Caribbean movies. And then, of course, Scott Card wrote, it went right out of my head. The Ender's Game.
Yeah.
Yes. And I always love talking to Scott about Ender's Game. He gets so mad about this movie. He is so fun to talk to about Ender's Game.
That is my favorite book of all time is Ender's Game. I love
Oh, no kidding. Wow.
And he loves the book. He just don't like the movie. He's
I'm with him. Tell him I'm with him. I didn't like the movie either.
Well, he said, first off, see, I was confused by this because I always thought that Ender was a little young to start off with, but he was telling me Ender was supposed to be younger than that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So I was
in the book, he starts out at, I think it's like 3 or 4 years old. Maybe it's 6 years old. Maybe it's 6, I think 6 years old is like the first that we see Ender in the book. And I think by the end of the book, I think he's only like 10 or 11.
He definitely is not a teenager. And so when I was talking to Scott, I said, Scott said, well, he's not a teenager. I'm like, well, which is true. I mean, you think differently we all our minds all change as we go through different ages, but preteens, you think a certain way. Puberty, you definitely think a certain way. Getting into your later teens and into your early 20s, you're definitely thinking a different way. No, for me, it's different, John. So instead of, a lot of people feel that pull when they hit like 50, 40, 30, 60, whatever. It always is like 2 or 3 years later before it bothers me. Yeah. I'm like, God, how old am I? Shit. It really don't bother until I see my 40-year-old son. I'm like, what? How old are you? I said, you lying to me, boy. Get out of the house. 40-year-old son. I said, where'd you come from? It's tough, guys. Well, I don't feel old yet. That's the problem. When I get there, I'll let y'all know.
That's a good thing, though. If you don't feel old
that's
yet,
a good thing.
That's good. Keep on trucking.
And Carmen says he's taking me somewhere special when I'm out there this year. I wonder what that means. Poor Carmen, he's got to put up with me. What do you mean?
We'll go to Musa, Frank.
Carmen. Oh yeah, I've been wanting to go there because we need to go. We need to go like first day or two of there before I get lost in the whatever it is.
Right.
No, so Gene, I get it comes to a point where between John, the illustrators, the judges, and the authors, I just get lost in the mix. No, not in a bad way. It's just there's so much going on. Then it's hard once you're in the hotel. It's hard to leave because you want to catch it with this and when you catch it with that one, and then there's bar con or lobby con, and we all want to talk. We get down there. You mean videotape? I don't videotape except on the day of the gala downstairs. You mean at the bar? No, there's no video going on. There may be some people taking pictures, but there's no video going on because that's just people are relaxed, having a cocktail. That's just not right.
Well, there's video of the red carpet. There's video
it's all that.
There's video of the awards event. There's lots of that. So the entire awards.
Oh yeah, we so you got the awards event from y'all on your server. We have the awards event as well. We carried it, and then there's lots of stuff like walking through the crowd at the gala. I was a couple of years. I was with Larry the old guy. No, not Larry Elmore, but he's really old guy.
Larry Niven.
Yeah, Larry Niven. Thank you. And so one year, the first year, Todd, you'd have loved this. First year they introduced me to this guy. I was like, get away from me, man. You got the plague. You didn't want me nowhere around him. Second year, he's kind of like, and who are you? So the third year, Jody just walks up, loops my arm on and says, you're in charge of him for the next couple. I'm like, wait, what? Whoa, wait a minute. And we actually started talking. We started talking quite a bit. And then the next 2 years, I've actually got to do some serious sitting down and talking to him. And I noticed with him, once you really get him engaged, he wants to talk. I mean, he wants to talk. He's got a lot of stuff in his head he wants to get out, which is great for me because then I can just sit there and not do nothing. And what's that, Frank? Anybody, we got to win, doofus. I told y'all before, you either got to donate $1 million or you got to win. That's the only way you can get invited to the game.
I've never heard about the $1 million thing.
Yeah, I told John 2 years ago. One time we'll get us $1 million here so we can retire.
I'm going to have to duck out here in a second.
No, go on. No, we appreciate you hanging out with us, Todd, as long as you do.
Of course.
Do me a favor. Anytime you get like links or websites, send them over. I'll post them here and I'll post them over on the website.
Yeah, the Patreon link that I mentioned before, where I'm kind of doing this behind the scenes chapter stuff, I put that in the private because I can't see that.
Did you? Okay, yeah, I'm glad you said that.
So if you wanted to share that, that's great.
Because once I put them in the outbound links, they're there forever.
Oh, cool.
They don't go away. Matter of fact, these archives are there forever. So you'll be dead, and your grandkids will be going, "Hey, that's what Grandpa's links, man." It's I mean, I'm serious. The way this is set up. Before I let you go, the way this is set up is this station should outlive me by at least 50, 80 years. And we have so many places we tuck archives at, especially audio archives. They'll be there forever. Matter of fact, Google took 15,000 from us to keep them forever. They were going to take them all, and then all of a sudden Google changed their mind. I guess they started doing this open source, and then they realized how many podcasts there were. They were like, never mind. But anyway, you go and enjoy yourself, and I appreciate you hanging out with us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me on the show. I appreciate it. This was a lot of fun, as always.
Yeah, so we always have a good time. So let me put this link up, make sure it gets out so I know where it's at. Yay, there we go. There it goes. Okay. Yeah, that way I know where they are when I go looking for them. I just come to the archive and get them out of there like that. Guys and girls, well, we're gonna let Todd go. There is something weird going on with that one. I'll have to go check on that. That's just weird. Facebook can be ignorant sometimes. But anyway, guys and girls, we're gonna let Todd get out here. He's got to go take care of the boss lady. I don't want to get him hurt or nothing,
I appreciate that.
You know, these ladies today are tough, man.
I got another obligation coming up in 11 minutes, so I figured.
Oh, get out of here, man! You should already been going. You should tell me to get out of here. Go.
Joe, Carmen, thank you for having me, and say hi to Jen. Like I said, I just spent some time with her at Superstars not less than a week ago.
I'll do that. I was hoping to get you both on at the same time, but
is she here yet?
No, we ain't seen her.
No, she hasn't
she got the link messed up. Yeah, we only got like 11 minutes. Not even that.
I sent her a text and sent her a couple of emails. So
yeah, so did I. I sent her the link about 4 times. Miriam, you can. I put both of Todd's links on the Facebook pages and on the YouTube pages, so you can find it. They're also on the Rumble pages as well, so you can go get them over there. Yeah, it just publishes when we publish it. So you just go over there.
Todd. Okay, take it easy, guys.
Go buy some books, people. Go buy some books. I guess we're not gonna get to see Jen today. People are sorry about that, guys and girls, and sometimes things happen. Not often, but every now and then something goes boo boo. John is with his wife, being nice so she don't hurt him. It's Valentine's Day, people.
He's doing stuff.
Happy Merry Valentine's. What? No, I know it. What do you mean? I know his wife. Yeah, she's a friend of mine. Who, Emily? Emily's a friend of mine. No, I love Emily. She knows it. I hug her every time I get a chance to, even though she's like this tall. Look, they got a picture of with a gun. I can't show y'all because John might hurt me. But next time I see Emily, I'm gonna ask her if I can post it. No, she's got this big machine. Because as big as she is, people. I mean, it's crazy. No, I don't bring her guns. I bring her swords and knives and stuff. Yeah. She's really sweet. She's good people. Matter of fact, like Carmen and John and a whole bunch of them over there are all really good people. I haven't met anybody I don't like yet, which is weird. Usually I don't like anybody, so that's what I'm saying. It's weird.
Yeah, John says he has panels all afternoon.
So no, I didn't doubt that. He
must be at some conference. I don't know which one he's at.
What's that, Frank? No, he was somewhere on my Facebook page. He made a post the other day about what he was doing the next couple of weeks. Yeah, it's up to, or just go to Writers of the Future. You can find that there. The Writers of the Future Facebook page. Yeah, he posts there as well too. Yeah. I don't know why you following him. He got a wife. She ain't gonna let you know where around it. You crazy. What is with all you people looking for wives and husbands today? What the hell? This ain't a date. I'll start a date and say $15.99 just to join. Yeah.
Oh, John's at Life, the Universe, and Everything Symposium.
Oh yeah, I remember he told me that. My brain don't keep information anymore. Randy, on this show, why you got a book? Well, how can you come on if you don't have a book? Are you an illustrator? Well, you can't come on here. It's just I'm sorry. We got other shows you can come on, just not this one. It's not that kind of stuff. Conspiracies. I would probably point you to Angel Rocker on Mondays. Yeah. You can ask us on the Saturday. You can ask us on the Friday or the Saturday show, the news on the flip side or the chat, but it depends what we're talking about. Well, Friday's harder because we're usually on topic on Friday. Saturday chat, we don't have a topic, so. That is true. You mean, so in Louisiana, on Sunday only, you can take a 5 inch. It's got to be 5 inches wide, and you can whoop your wife with the belt every Sunday. It's actually a law on the books. It's on the blue books, but it's on the law. There's lots of stupid laws like that. Well, it used to be you couldn't even buy liquor on Sundays or anything after midnight, but it ain't like that anymore. Not there. It is in certain places in Mississippi, but Louisiana, they're a bunch of alcoholics. So. No, no, I'm sure Carmen will rebook her in the future, but why? Is you a friend of hers or something? Just curious.
Oh, Jen Finelli?
Yeah. You're talking. Okay. You're talking about New York. No, that's what's his name's place up there. Yeah, I can't think of his name, but the Zindadi, Binbadi, whatever the hell his name is. Yeah, the mayor, the new mayor of New York. He's an idiot. Yeah. What the hell is that? Should be nothing on up here. My neighbor must be doing something stupid. Oh, I got a new neighbor and he's just a pain in the ass. Yes, nothing I can talk about on here, but he's a pain. Denise, now we're getting ready to go in just about 2 minutes. Why? What you got? You can refer guests to the show as long as they're authors or illustrators. You can refer guests all you want. I'm gonna send him Carmen because he does the booking because he knows who he's got coming on and who don't. No, you'd have to get with him when we're not doing anybody. Well, we got the contest coming up, so we're going to be busy for the next 4 or 5 months. I mean, what it is you want to talk about? Nope. That would be considered politics. You'd have to do it on Friday or Saturday on the chat. Yeah, sorry. Nah, we just don't do politics on here. We just don't. I'm not saying we don't talk about politics. I talk about it for 4 hours on Friday night. We just don't do it here. And we'll probably bring it up on the next show a couple times. Well, actually, the chat today is about scary stories, scary paranormal and ufology stories, stuff like that. Yes. And that's what the show listing tonight's about.
So the chat has a theme to it sometimes?
Sometimes. Well, I did that because I don't want to talk about who all night. I'm getting. I mean, there's so much coming out of them emails and stuff, and James, we might talk about Epstein the last hour. We might. It's just. I sent Jay 15 links this morning, 15 videos this morning. Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see. I don't know. We'll talk about it. But I know the first hour is definitely going to be scary stories. And we're going to be finishing up a tale that we were telling on UFO on the Cover the other night that we couldn't finish because it changed rating. So it went from a PG to an R. So we couldn't talk about it on UFO on the Cover anymore. So we're going to talk about the last half of it on the chat tonight. Yeah. It's the way it works. Because it has sexual innuendo and content in it. That's not exactly the way I should say it, but let's just say that they were doing things that you just wouldn't want done to you in the first place, and you don't want to be talking about it on air in a PG environment. Mainly because there might be kids listening. But we're gonna get out of here because I'm hungry.
Okay.
And I got an hour to eat, so yes. Nobody
here eat the whole hour.
Yeah, well, by the time I get through with this and get over there and make sure that the Rumble's set up, I'll have about 30 minutes to eat. But Frankie, the chat's coming up next. Like I said, if you guess for the show, you can write to me, or if not, I'll send you Carmen's email. But really, like I said, for at least the next 6 months, we're going to be busy. Well, we got guests coming up for the gala. Then we got the gala. The contest, and then we got the gala, and then we've got the after interviews after the contest. So that's usually about 6 months. It might be a little less, but that's usually what it is. Yes. But anyway, on that note, we're going to get out of here. Y'all all wish all of us a happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Valentine's. Oh, man, my brain's at Thanksgiving. Jeez and easy. No, life seems to be getting quieter in the U.S. and calming down. I mean, maybe. We'll see. Keep your fingers crossed. Send some good vibes out there. Send some love to the universe, people. And anyway, on that note, we're going to get out here. And I thank everyone for tuning in to United Public Radio and the Authors Quill. Of course, if you got any moans, groans, bitches, or complaints, feel free to write to Michelle DeRoche. She'll take them anytime you write to her about them. She likes to feel those kind of things. Again, thank you for tuning in to United Public Radio and the Authors Quill. Good afternoon, everyone.